What's going on, guys? My name's Caleb, and I've been a member of the Cardano community for almost 2 years now, testing out different wallets, different technology, generally just being involved in the ecosystem. And I've been a moderator for lots of different discords, and over my time, I've seen a lot of different problems that come up for new people entering the ecosystem, and I'm here to hope to address some of those issues today. So starting out, I'm going to be going over Eternl Wallet. It's the most used wallet on Cardano at this time, and there's a lot of settings in it, right? But it offers you everything you could want to do. So we're going to go over a lot of those settings and how to make it really work best for you and to not get hung up on some of the hiccups that I've seen over the years. So this is a long video. There's a lot to go over, but let's dig in. So first things first, you're going to want to head to the wallet settings for your wallet specifically. Here we've got a list of settings. Note at the top right away that you can name your wallet whatever you want. And then you also have these wallet groups. Now these wallet groups are super handy for helping organize wallets if you have a lot of stuff going on. Up at the top here, you can see I've got 3 wallets in the My Wallets group. I've got a ledger hardware device, a mobile, and then a trading wallet. But if you rename this something else, it'll make new categories. Here you can see I've just got a dummy projects folder with goats, minting, and rabbits and whatnot. But if I were to take my mobile wallet and change it to mobile and hit save, give it a second update, and there you can see now I've got a new category called mobile. And we can hide these away and make some visible. You've got this button here to show or hide the balance of your wallet and whatnot. I have that off just so for privacy settings right now. You're always going to want to have Collateral enabled. This is a legacy setting that is used for Plutus v1, which is the coding language of Cardano for smart contracts. For Plutus v2, the Collateral is not quite as needed, but there are still a lot of dApps that have not been able to upgrade. So you're going to want to make sure this is enabled. And if you use any app and it gives you a warning saying Collateral not added, this is where you can go and add it. Another setting that I always leave enabled is Advanced UTXO Management. There is not much of a description here for what this does, but it splits up your unspent transaction outputs, which is what UTXO stands for, into smaller chunks. So what this allows you to do is if you're buying a whole bunch of NFTs at once, or you're trying to do multiple transactions in a DEX, this breaks up your wallet into smaller chunks automatically as you're making transactions and spending ADA and sending it to different locations so that you can send more transactions consecutively without having to wait for new inputs to form from the previous outputs. If you're coming from Nami Wallet, Flint, Giro, a lot of these wallets use a single address mode, as we call it. So what this means is when you go to your receive tab, those other wallets, you'll always get the same receive address. That's not the case with Eternl by default. By default, you have all of these unused addresses, and every single time you grab a receive address and it's used, Eternl will next time give you a different address. It's still linked with the same wallet, but it's a different address, and it goes back to some older security features, but it's not really needed anymore, and a lot of the wallets don't do it. So if you're coming from one of those wallets, you're going to want to have single address mode enabled. And just as an example here, if I go to Nami Wallet, which I have the same wallet, it's called Test, but it's the same as mobile, right? It's only showing I have a balance of 4.5 ADA. If I go here, I'll show you, I have 184 ADA in this wallet. But because Nami always looks for this address, and in this wallet, I have used some of these other wallets, right? So this one ends in CZU5, and Nami wants to give me a wallet address ending in 3QA, right? So they're different addresses, but they're technically the same, right? So what we can do for that is if you enable single address mode, you can set a receive address, and by default, it'll always choose the first one. And that's a really nice feature about Cardano is every single time you get the first address from Nami, Eternl knows that that's also the same first address. But if you just want to be sure, you can copy your receive address from one of those other wallets, paste it in here, and save it. And then from then on, this wallet is always going to use this receive address. So here you can see it's ending in 3QA. So now if I go to receive, there it's ending in 3QA. if you're getting this error in Nami where your wallet is not showing the correct balance, and I get this question a lot from people in the circles that I have, you can do a send all feature. So if you go to your wallet here in the settings and enable send all, and I'll do it here just to show you. So I will receive, and then I will send to my same wallet address, okay? And here send all is enabled. I do not recommend having this on by default all the time, right? But here we'll send all. There it's going to grab everything that I've got, and I'll hit next. I'm going to enter in my spending password. All right, there we go. So the transaction's being submitted. And once this is done, I'll show you in Nami that all of my balance is now showing up correctly. All right, so looking back at Nami, now you can see, once it loads, that I have the full balance of my wallet. Now, this isn't exactly correct because if you look here, you can see that I have collateral. So Nami does not include the collateral in the wallet total, and it does not include the amount locked up by tokens, right? So 184 minus the 6.76, and you get this 177.43 about, right? But it's the same wallet. So there, that problem is fixed. Now I can have the correct balance in both of my wallets. And because I have this single address mode enabled now, from now on, this wallet will also stay synced with Nami or Flint or Giro or any of those other single address mode wallets. All right. Another setting that I like to have enabled is token fragmentation. This splits up your wallet into smaller chunks. So if you have a lot of NFTs in your wallet and it's bogged down and you're getting errors all the time from different applications, try setting this token size or this token bundle size smaller. So this, kind of like the advanced UTXO management, it will split your NFTs into smaller chunks for their outputs. And then this, just like it says here, a small bundle size has lower fees, but more ADA is locked. So that means that because they're in smaller chunks, you have more chunks, and every chunk requires a little bit of ADA to be locked up with it. So if you have a larger bundle size, you will not have as much ADA locked up, and you can see that on your account page here. Here I've got 2.745 ADA locked up with the 3 NFTs I have, right? So if I had a ton of NFTs in there, you could have up to 100 ADA locked up if they're all in different UTXOs. So by splitting them up here into smaller chunks, you end up getting smaller chunks that is easier to work with. A lot of your dApps will end up working and not giving you as many errors if you're trying to buy and sell on different marketplaces. I always recommend keeping send all off by default. I cannot tell you how many times I have heard people accidentally click send all when they're sending a transaction to somebody and all of their wallet is drained, right? It's terrible when it happens, but that's, the blockchain is absolute. If you send something somewhere, you just have to pray that the other person sends it back to you. All right, so let's look at what really makes Eternl Wallet a powerhouse and why it's the most used on the blockchain. If we go to our send tab, we've got our normal send tab address, hit next, blah, blah, blah. All right. But up at the top here, we've got this transaction builder option. So here you can compile transactions that send tokens or different amounts of ADA to a whole bunch of different wallets all at the same time. So you hit add an output, and here it's almost the same. So you can paste in your address that you want to send to. You can add tokens. You can send some ADA. All right. And you can add it. So here we've got, boom, one transaction. Now we can add another one. All right, I'm just going to use the same address right now, but you can put in different addresses here if you want. And there you can put in that one. Now you can add a token. All right, hit add. Right, so there, now it's compiling this transaction, right? You can also select unique inputs if you want. If you only want to spend an input and not touch another one, there are some very rare use cases where you'd want to do that, but most of the time I never bother with it. But the option's there if you want it, right? And that's what Eternl is all about. It gives you every option for anything you could want to do with a transaction on Cardano. So we have our outputs in there. Now the next step is to hit build transaction. So this will compile it, and now you can see below here it automatically selected some inputs. It's got 4 outputs. It's all saying account 0 because it's coming back to my wallet, but that's fine, right? You hit next, and from here you can enter your spending password just like any other wallet. And this really makes Eternl powerful because now you can send as many tokens as you want in a large transaction to multiple wallets. This is great for people trying to make payments to different people for projects. if you're trying to send NFTs out, right? It's just a really powerful feature, and it's one of the advantages of the UTXO blockchain model or accounting model and why it's so powerful. All right, so now we're going to look at the accounts feature for Eternl Wallet, and a lot of wallets have this, but Eternl does it a little bit differently, or it's displayed differently in different wallets. So we're going to go over it. So you're on your main account tab, right? And you've got summary, token list, where you can view all of your NFTs and tokens. You've got your UTXO, and then over on the right, we have account list. So here you can see I only have one account in this wallet. So let's go ahead and add an account. And here you can click to add as many as you want. I'll go ahead and add 3. You enter your spending password. Sign it, wait for the accounts to be created. And these accounts literally act as separate wallets within your wallet. So you don't need to have another seed phrase. And the really awesome part where you can actually stake every one of these wallets to a different stake pool. And it made it really easy. So, on my Ledger device, I've got 8 different accounts on my wallet, within that same restore seed phrase where I'm delegating to different stake pools that I support, or I'm able to earn different tokens that I want from ISPOs, all different kinds of things that you can do with that. And it also makes it really easy to keep your wallets organized, right? So you can hit this edit symbol here, and I can name it whatever, NFTs, and I can name this one tokens, right? So super simple, super easy. And then to look at those wallets, you just click the activate button. Look at those, right? But now my summary page reflects account number 3, right? And then I've got all the same stuff. So it's not delegated right now, so there's no information there. But you can send, you get unique receiving addresses for this. Now, there's one thing to be careful of if using accounts in Eternl and you have single address mode on. I don't have it on by default here, so let's turn it on, single address mode. If I hit receive, my wallet address ends in 3QA. Great. If I go to my second account, activate it, receive, I get the same wallet address ending in 3QA. Now this is a problem because every time I try to give this address to somebody to receive, or I go to punch it in somewhere, I'm only going to get the address for that first main account. On top of that, if I'm in my second account here and I send to another wallet, and let's say I'm going to send 10 ADA, next. Right, so I've got my one input here of 20 ADA, which is all the contents of this wallet. I'm sending 10 ADA to an exterior wallet, and then I'm sending the change back, right? So 9.8, so 10 minus the transaction fee. It's being sent back to that 3QA wallet address, the first one for that main account. Now, this is just the way Eternl works right now. So if you're going to use this wallet in conjunction with Nami or Flint or Giro Wallet, you're going to want to make sure that you don't use accounts in Eternl because it's going to screw things up and you're going to get all cluttered. So I usually leave this off, and I have a separate wallet for Eternl or for Nami that I just don't touch it in Eternl, and that's fine, that's simple. Or I just don't use accounts with that wallet. Nowadays, I've kind of defaulted to only using Eternl Wallet if I'm going to use that wallet. I just don't even load it into Nami. It's not worth it, right? You get more headaches than it's worth. Congratulations to Eternl Wallet at the 2022 Cardano Summit. They won the most voted wallet by the community, and this is for a very good reason. You look at another one of their tweets back from October, 45.2 thousand transactions were submitted to Eternl, and that's 52% they're saying of all transactions on Cardano, just this one wallet. So these guys are killing it. They're doing an awesome job. Here they've got a chart that shows a whole bunch of stuff, all of their nodes and whatnot that they have going out. But Eternl Wallet's doing some awesome stuff, and they keep improving the wallet, and it's just getting better with age. So there you have Eternl Wallet. These are all the tips and tricks that I've learned, and I really hope that they help you understand what's going on and not get hung up in some of the problem areas that I've seen over the past couple of years. Please leave a like and a comment in the bottom, and feel free to ask me questions. I love helping people. That's what I love to do in this space. So if there's any video that you'd like to see in the future, please leave a comment down below, and I'll be sure to read those. Thanks, guys. See you later.